So the reality of the George Floyd situation, the reality is we're stuck on stupid. We're ignoring real serious issues in policing today and jumping on the race thing because, quite frankly, the race thing's a simple narrative for simple people to latch onto. It's a way for suburban white people to feel good about themselves with their little Black Lives Matter signs in their rich rural neighborhoods without a black person in sight. You can put the bumper sticker on your car and you can feel like you're some kind of virtuous individual while you're really ignoring the deeper problems. Why was George Floyd killed? I don't think George Floyd died because Derek Chauvin woke up that morning and said, "You know what, boys? Today I'm going to kill me a black man." I highly fucking doubt that's what happened. Now, maybe it did. Maybe that's exactly what the fuck happened. I doubt it, but maybe it is. I would lean more towards George Floyd died for a combination of number one, the government not really liking competition and printing fake money. After all, that's why the police were called on him, because he was passing fake bills. Meanwhile, the United States government can print trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars worth of fake money, further devaluing our currency. And it's no big deal. It's totally cool. But George Floyd can't do it. You can't do it. We can do it, but you can't. Inside the castle wall, outside the castle wall. Same with policing. Realistically, if they had rolled up on scene to George Floyd passing fake bills and he would say, "Hey, look, I'm a local cop," and flashed a badge, he would have been let go. On drugs or not, most likely. On drugs or not. Black, white, Hispanic, trans fluid, sexual, pixie dust sexual, whatever the fuck. He would have been fucking probably patted on the ass and told, "George, don't do this anymore." I only say that because it's my truth. It's my lived experience. I've literally seen that kind of shit. Um, so yeah, I think that's a big problem, is the inside the castle wall, outside the castle wall mentality. You're not on the team. I'm on the team. I think Derek Chauvin's attitude probably reflected that more than any kind of latent racism. I think he probably starts his day and interacts with people in the mindset that I'm the boss. You will listen to me. Fuck your rights, kind of thing. You know. Um, Again, that's my truth. It's my lived experience. I've seen that as well. I've literally heard police officers I know, who I grew up with, say literally exactly that. The other part of it is, of course, yeah, did George Floyd have enough fentanyl in his system to drop a bull elephant? Yeah. Is that a factor? Yeah. Um, should that be considered necessarily? I don't know. I think that's dicey. I don't think there's any disputing that the way Officer Chauvin handled the situation was within the guidelines of his department. We have video showing their academy training that exact maneuver. Now, for 10, 12 minutes, no. We don't, I don't think we have that, but we do have that maneuver being trained in their police academy. I think it comes down to a compassion issue again, and an inside the castle wall, outside the castle wall mentality. Like I said, I don't know how much we should be factoring in the significant amount of drugs Mr. Floyd had in his system. I do think it's a factor. I think it's something that should be considered. Sorry, I'm just trying to be pragmatic here. Um, do I think that George Floyd's family should be fucking wealthy beyond reproach? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Do I think that Derek Chauvin should go to prison? Yeah. Yeah, I do. My concern is, and I keep getting misinterpreted, I guess. My concern is that in trying to overcharge Mr. Chauvin with, murder one or murder two, he's going to walk. You can get him for maybe manslaughter. Manslaughter, I think, is a safe charge. You'll get him, he's going to go to prison, and he's going to probably be passed around the cell like a fucking dirty magazine or a peace pipe at a powwow. Okay? Uh, Mission accomplished as far as that goes. Um, but again, my concern is, you overcharge him, and his lawyers, if they're even remotely skilled, they're going to point to police academy tapes where they train this maneuver. They're going to point to the amount of fentanyl in Mr. Floyd's system. They're going to point to his criminal record. They're going to point to Mr. Chauvin's record, be it good, bad, or indifferent. And they're going to try and spin it in such a way as to paint Mr. Chauvin as an upstanding model officer, which he's obviously not. Now, I would really like to see other officers, more of the officers out there, because there are good police officers out there, more than there are bad police officers. But I think it's incumbent upon them to point out the bad behavior. It's not enough to to not do the bad behavior. If you're a police officer, you need to be pointing out bad behavior and calling it out and saying, look, I don't agree with this. I don't think this is right. And there are some officers who have done that, and some retired officers who have done that. I understand that it's difficult to do that when you're actually still wearing the badge because you're worried about your job. Too fucking bad. You have an obligation and a duty. And fucking nut up, guys. All right, cowboy the fuck up. Your check's not worth your integrity. It's really not. You know, I hear the argument all the time. You don't know how hard the job is. Hey, look, I'm sure the job is very difficult. It's not a job I'd want. I thought I wanted that job when I was younger, and the more I look at it now, the more I'm glad I don't have that job. I like my job. I don't envy you guys. Like I said, I know it's a hard job, but you're not under contract. You're not in the infantry. You don't have 4 years left in your contract and you're just trying to get through a hard job. You can quit at any point in time. If it's too fucking hard for you to do your job properly, then quit. You can literally go anywhere and get a fucking job. It's a little harder nowadays with the Biden administration in office, I know, but you know what? Pizza Hut's calling, and it's not nearly as hard. You can work just like the rest of us in the Biden economy. You can get a job at Pizza Hut during the day, you can work at Subway in the evenings, and you can work at fucking McDonald's overnight. But at least you'll have your integrity. Let me circle back to the race issue. I think it's really, really bad that we're focusing so much on race when there are some serious issues that can be corrected that are far more blatant and far more damaging in policing. But again, like I said, we're latching on race because it's easy and because it makes ignorant, rich, suburban white kids feel like they're virtuous. You will do a lot more good in addressing police unionization and things of that nature, qualified immunity, things like that. But again, we're not going to do it because every time something like this happens, and we should be making positive steps in those directions, the news media and the union advocates, they dangle that little fucking Christmas ornament in front of you that says fucking racism on it, and that's what you go to. Yeah. In any case, that's all I got for Tuesday. I hope you guys have a nice day.